Hey foodies, if you want to learn how to make oxtail that falls from the bone without using pressure cooker, then this video is for you. Just stick around to the end of the video where I'll be leaving the full recipe details. Also remember to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Now let's get straight into the video.
Alright, so let's start off by cleaning our oxtail. You want to remove as much fat as possible because oxtail is a type of meat. When it's finished, there's going to be a lot of oil on the dish and you don't want that. You want it to be nice and free of those oil. So we're trying to remove as much of the fat as possible. We're going to wash this to remove all of the impurities, and you could add some lime or some vinegar. Remember to rinse in cold water, and this will remove the impurities from the meat. And you want to add a generous portion of vinegar. After you have added the vinegar to the water, you are now going to discard that water and start the seasoning process. Now when seasoning the oxtail, you're going to be using a mixture of dry seasonings and a mixture of wet seasonings or natural seasonings. So we're going to be using some crushed pimento. We're using about 1 tablespoon of crushed pimento to 2 pounds of oxtail. We're using 1 hot pepper, and we're using a piece of ginger and about 4 cloves of crushed garlic. We're going to mince everything and we're going to add this to the seasoning. Now don't worry about the size of this. All of this will be cooked to puree. Then we're adding about a tablespoon of oxtail seasoning. We're going to be adding a teaspoon of paprika, and this is regular paprika. After we add the paprika, we're going to be adding half cup of soya sauce, Kikkoman soya sauce to be exact. Then we're going to be adding in about 2 tablespoons of black pepper, fine ground black pepper. We're going to toss this up and we're going to let it marinate for a few minutes, half an hour. The longer you marinate it is the better, but we're going to marinate this for about half an hour. Then we're going to sear our oxtail, and when we're searing the oxtail, you want to use a thick pan, preferably not too hot. Don't make it too hot. You want to add the oxtail and then you gradually allow the heat to incorporate in the oxtail. So we're going to put it on medium heat and we're going to allow this to sear on both sides for about 20 minutes. So we're going to sear this, and after we have seared, then we're going to flip them onto the next side and sear for another 20 minutes. So we're just going to turn them over. The longer you let them sear is the darker they become. And then this searing process, you don't want to use any oil as well, because the oxtail, it generates its own oil or its own fat. So you're going to use the fat that is coming from the oxtail. After you have seared on one side, we're going to flip over onto the next side. Overall, the overall cooking process will take about 5 hours. So now we're going to add some liquid, and the same container that was used to season the oxtail, you're going to add the liquid to that. And these are the veggies we're going to be adding in. So we're going to be adding in some sugar as well and some tomato ketchup. And then after this has been cooking for about 3 hours and the oxtail have partially become sauce, then we're going to add the veggies and we're going to allow the veggies to cook. So at this stage the oxtail is already cooked, so now we're just going to add the veggies to simmer. Let's check on it. So this is what the oxtail look after a few hours. You can see how rich the sauce is, how rich the flavor looks. It is starting to melt away from the bone, and at this stage the oxtail is quite ready. Guys, please remember to subscribe to the channel. Also remember to share the video. Look how my oxtail look. I turn off the stove.